the subject is macular hole in attached and detached retina. So the first concept described by Knapp in 1869 and modern concept and classification by Gass, and prevalence from 3.3% in Baltimore study to 1.7% in South India study, and bilateral in up to 11% cases. So first reported of macular hole surgery in archives of 1991 by Kelly and Wendell, and the success rate came up from reported 58% to now about 95%, nearly 100%. So diagnosis initially slit-lamp microscopy and replaced by OCT nowadays. And there is a classification of the macular hole, which I am not going into details. And Dr. Rajesh went through it. Stage 0 to macular hole, which is OCT classification, and then at stage 1A is the impending macular hole. Stage 1B is impending macular hole with biomicroscopically yellow ring with bridging interface, loss of foveolar separation, and no retrofoveolar separation. Stage 2 is macular hole is eccentric, oval, crescent, or also retinal defect inside edge of retinal of yellow ring, central round retinal defect retina with or without foveolar opacity. Stage 3 and 4, I am not going to detail now. And this is the classification of commonly used for full thickness macular hole, which is the indication of surgeries. So there is a small hole, large hole, and the full thickness macular hole with the PVD. And this is the OCT pictures of the stage 1A, stage 1B, and the impending holes. So what is the prognostic indicators of macular hole? Lots of prognostic indicators are there in lots of different journals, but the most important ones are like the macular hole minimal hole diameter at the base, and also there is the hole form factor and macular hole index and tractional hole index. So for the surgery, we use the few dyes and the few adjuvants and the instruments, the triamcinolone, and then we graduated to unicerlin green, trypan blue, and nowadays we use brilliant blue dye. Adjuvants, there are lots of adjuvants described like autologous serum, tissue adhesives, transforming growth factor, thrombin, and now we use the reverse flaps like the ILM tissue and also even the retinal tissue graft. So instruments, ILM forceps, diamond dust scalper, Phenycyl loop, PIC, and even under PFC we do. So there is one, this is the inverse flap technique which we showed here, and 65-year-old male and pseudophakic. Here we can see the 25 days vitrectomy we did, and after the vitrectomy with triamcinolone assisted PVD induction, and then stained with the brilliant blue dye. And here we use the Phenycyl loop. From all around, we pick it up and slowly foxing and cajoling into the macular hole. And then with the cutter, we trimmed it. And you can see we are trimming it so that it will be easier to put it inside the hole. And then we do the fluid exchange, and we can see the flap will go automatically inside the holes. But we should be careful and should not go very near to the hole while using the extrusion, otherwise the flap may come inside the extrusion. And there is a traumatic macular hole. It's the extensive scarring of retinal tissue involving the foveal inferior part, long duration of the macular hole. Here you can see the inferior nasal part, and the half of the foveal tissue is gone. And here the other half portion where the tissue is there, we picked up the island with the loop, because we are very careful here not to disturb the ILM tissue, because this type of case I thought maybe the ILM may help better way. That's why it is done. Otherwise, previously we used to take out the ILM fully without any tissue flap. And then as before we trimmed it, and then we did a fluid exchange. And here we can see the post-operative fovea. and also the OCT showing the hole closure. Then there is a temporal flap technique where we are not pulling the tissue from all over, only the temporal tissues, temporal ILM is filled up by the ILM forceps under the brilliant blue staining. And you can see we keep the nasal flaps. Maybe if it is a failed surgery, you can always use that thing as a graft tissue. And basically, this flap technique decreased our operation time tremendously because we don't have to peel so much. Nowadays, in fact, we don't peel that much amount also. Only the 1/3 amount of ILM you can peel and put it and it closes nicely. And again, you the same thing, fluid exchange. And this is the retinal detachment with macular hole surgery. And this is the old macular retinal detachment. You can see the subretinal bands up there. So after the vitrectomy and transluminal and the induction, we made 3 retinotomies, and the connected subretinal bands are taken out. And we put PFCL also. You can see the jelly-like old subretinal fluid coming out. And we settled it a little bit. Otherwise, you cannot put the PFCL enough to feel the ILM comfortably. And then below the PFCL, you can stain it with the brilliant blue, and immediately you can start peeling because it stays naturally immediately. And with the ILM forceps, you can see comfortably you can take out the ILM. And then after the fluid exchange and removing the PFCL, we just laser the retinotomies all around. So this is the result. You can see this is the silicone oil. Below that, the OCT we have done, so the media is not so clear. But you can see the hole is closed nicely, and you can see the tissue of the ILM. In fact, the macular hole tissue is slowly filling up. The outer retinal layers is already formed nicely. Thank you.